Here we go. Okay. At this moment, you've been with Nick for the first 12 weeks. Okay, this is the Moodle area. I'll try to tidy the Moodle area as much as I can over the next 12 weeks. I tend to make things a bit shorter and make it more concise. I'll do that. I've added my office hours for term 2. So feel free to pop up in my office hours if you have any question regarding this unit. You've got 12 weeks on cloud computing, Ajax, and Amazon Web Services, yes, and at last, you've got a coursework to submit end of this week.
Friday.
Yes, this Friday. Okay, great. I assume you are well ahead of the coursework. The deadline is usually under assessments and course examination. Coursework is 12th of Jan, end of this week, this Friday. Okay. I've got, I'll start from week 13. I'll deliver from week 13 to week 24. I'll deliver on certain topics. I'll talk about them yet later on. I am the product of this university. Nick in 2004 taught me enterprise programming. Okay, it was called advanced Java programming. Okay, that's a bit of fun. Then I've done my PhD. Then in 2009 I joined MMU as a professor, a lecturer in computer science. So I'm well aware of the style of Nick teaching. He's a great teacher. So where we go? What I'm gonna do, I'm a software developer as well. I worked as software developer for Manchester Technology Fund, wrote software in neural networks, detection of videos and information from videos, etc. For 2 years. My PhD, worked as web developer for a number of years, etc. So I'm fully tuned to teach this. Some of you saw me teaching digital forensics. But I've got a bachelor degree in computer science, master's in computer science, and PhD in computer science. So, but in this unit, I will try to deliver a number of areas where we felt they are really useful for you to understand and to get on faster with the industry, because the unit is called enterprise programming. I'll spend the first 3 weeks on design patterns. That should not be a difficult topic. It is a simple lectures, simple labs on the main design patterns. 3 weeks. I've just been chatting with Nick, and he is telling you from an insider. Hello, students. You might talk about in the assignment reflection in your assignment about a design pattern you've used. And he said, can they talk about singleton? I said, I don't know what they've done. But I said to him, I think you've used the factory. You used the MVC model, so you can do a bit of reflection of the usage of the model view controller. I'll come to the MVC later on. So we'll spend 3 weeks to highlight the importance of design patterns, okay, with the 3 labs associated. Then we'll spend the 3 weeks on distributed programming. I'll concentrate primarily on the architecture first week and 2 weeks on RMI, where we're going to develop a simple chatting system. Talking in 2 ways communication, where you can send and receive messages between 2 pieces of softwares in real time, and we will develop that software together. And then I'll spend 2 weeks, and that's very useful because lots of these well developed pieces of software like Drop the Box now, they are all talking 2 ways at the application level, and there is a still need for RMI architectures to be used in our advanced software development. Then I'll jump to an important area. These days many software, for example, even me attending a training on Hibernate, I've seen lots of large banks, employees, etc. attending trainings on Hibernate. We all, and you have used already SQL to insert data into the relational database. I don't like that anymore. I am using on my projects Hibernate, because in Hibernate I fill the objects with data and I say save that object, and that's it. Then Hibernate will go and insert a row for me in the database. So you don't need to write the SQL statement. That's the question. here. So we will learn how to use Hibernate in order to say, save this employee object, with which the object is filled with data already, and Hibernate will go and save a new row for you in the relational database. Hibernate is with something called object relational mapping. So it will map objects to relational database. And so it will reduce the gap between object-oriented software developers and relational database developers. So object-oriented software developers, they don't like to move between object-oriented software development and then, relational database entities and their structures and the relationship, etc., inserting into one table, inserting into two tables, inserting into three tables, many-to-many relationship. They just want to say, I've got this employee and it's got some relationship with other departments, and the department is a composite object within the employee. I want to say save employee, and then that two SQL statements will be created automatically and insert that data. Hibernate will allow you to do that. It's fun. You're going to enjoy it. We'll spend 2 weeks on that. And I think it's industry relevant. I mean, it is good to use. Then we'll spend 2 weeks on the Spring framework. I mean, we all, I assume by now, learned how to create web application using Java server pages, JSPs. Now we are moving towards a more formal MVC model view controller, using Java Spring framework, which make our life a lot easier to put together an MVC model. Okay, and we will do that, and we will look at JMS and Spring, because Spring is a larger framework which got lots of other components, not just the MVC web application development. We will look at JMS, Java Messaging System, which you can create a system that sends messages over the network, but at the same time it is a resilient system. So for example, if system 2 is off, is not running, so that message will be saved. In RMI, that is gone. But if you send it, the system is off, it will not have the capability to roll back messages, to save message, to commit message. It's like maintaining the messaging system. It's an advanced system under the Spring. And then we'll spend 1 week on the MVC, Spring MVC, which is developing a web application using the MVC within Spring framework. Okay, that is 13 weeks, and the last week will be a revision for the exam. Okay, I hope it's going to be fun. This is the most important for you guys. Most of the students like to see this slide. You've got the assignment. It is 50%, the submission this week, and you've got an exam at the end of this unit. Okay? The usual pattern until now in the past few years, that we try to reduce the number of questions in term 1 and increase the number of questions for term 2, because obviously you've been assessed already for term 1. Can you please be in time next time? Okay? 15 minutes. The lecturer is supposed to finish 10 minutes too. Okay? So for the exam, and we will do that, and we will do that, and we will do that again, revising. You're going to have another exam 50-50. Okay? Aim to get, maybe my advice at this moment, aim to get as much as you can in the coursework, because this will relieve you a bit. Because if you've got, for example, 100 out of 100 in the coursework, you've already passed the unit. Okay? So aim to get the best mark you can in the coursework. Past exams are already on the Moodle area. And we have also revision videos, and we will add more revision videos.
I have a question. Is it possible to get last year and 2 year past paper rather than 5 years ago? Because the past papers on the model are 2010, 2012. Can you get like a more recent one?
The recent ones, I didn't add them because they are already, but not straightforward in front of your face. If you go to files, here, let me just go to the student view and see what you see. Okay, files, don't see them, interesting. Usually if you click on files, you will see the past exams. I'll download them myself. Usually they are under files and you see past exam papers for the other units. But sometimes the structure of the Moodle, the data is not there most likely, so it's not being picked up. I will put the recent ones, but usually they are in this corner. Okay? I'll put this at the top of the unit. And I'll see why it's not there. Okay. And we've started, from last year, we started putting the solutions as well. So you will see exam papers and the solutions we've submitted to our external examiners. And plus, from previous years, we've produced videos. Okay, so you can see at the bottom, I've put them at the bottom, week 24, and they are shown already there. These videos, you will look at them for looking at the exam papers 2017, which is last year, and the year before. Okay, question by question. So also me talking about the exam papers and how we do them. Don't worry. For the last year, the average of the exam was over 60, which is great result. We will prepare you for that. Don't worry for that. With videos, past exam papers, past solution, etc. Okay. The Moodle resources will look like this on my side. I mean, I'll put also for every week the lecture, the lab, the starter files for the experiment you're gonna do, for the code you're gonna complete, and the solutions as well. And the suggestion that if you're stuck by the end of the lab and you didn't finish, you can look at the solutions for that exercise. Okay? One thing extra I'm doing this year, which is just to go with